Hello, everybody. Good morning. I hope
Hi.
you guys are doing well. Let us know where you're watching. Where you're watching from this morning. Sorry. Morning time. I haven't had coffee or water. So this morning, we thought we would talk about something that we've been using in our business. And I don't know if you guys struggle with your day to day and like a to do list and then having ideas pop into your head. But we've always heard of the concept of a Sunday list, and we did not know how helpful it was going to be until we started using it. So that's what we're talking about today. If we haven't met before, my name's Melinda, and this is Andrea, and we run Spreadsheetables here. Where we teach people to create and monetize Google Sheets and also use them in their business to be able to grow their revenue, grow their leads, and all of those things. Watching from Toronto, hello, good morning. That's awesome. I look very like gray this morning. I don't know if it's my lighting. I don't know.
It's a weird lighting today. I can't get my lighting right either. It's like either too bright or too dark. I'm in a dark room, seems like
I
right
know.
now.
I look like a vintage TV station. Anyways.
I love
Okay.
it. Different filter.
Awesome. All right. So, yeah, if we do these lives every Monday, so if you're new joining us, you can go onto YouTube and watch some of our past lives. We're just showing you some of the tools that we create and use in our business, and that we hope they help you in your business. And then you can also join the free Facebook group, Passive Income with Google Sheets by Spreadsheetables. You can find us there as well. So, um, talking about the someday list. So, if you don't know what that is, a lot of people call it a someday maybe list, and it's a place to drop all your future ideas that you're interested in. And I think and I fought this list for a while. I've heard of it before, and I was like, I don't know. I like my to-do lists. But I think over time, we realized we were treating our to-do list also as a someday list, like just dropping everything on your to-do list. And that is so overwhelming because obviously you're not going to get those things done. Your to-do list should be like literally what you're going to get done today. Some people encourage, it to be three things, like keep it short, actually get them done. And I am terrible for just like, I keep building on that list and building on that list until there's like 20 items. And then, well, which one do I do? And like, it's a mess because it's like things that I want to do 3 months from now compared to things I need to do today. So if that is you, this session is going to help you out a lot. It's helped us out quite a bit. And I guess we found like Andrea and I would be working on something, and then, we're texting back and forth with, well, what about this? And what about this? And that time, I love when we have those like back and forth brainstorming sessions because it's so productive. It just like kind of happens in the moment. We come up with an amazing idea. And then, to be honest, we would do two things. We would either like forget about it and then re-brainstorm the entire thing later on, or it would get completely forgotten. Or I guess the other thing would be is we want to like jump on it and start working on it, but it's distracting us from the thing that we're supposed to be working on, today, not something that needs to happen a couple months from now. So that's where the someday list has come in handy. And honestly, it really just took, when you implement a tool, you need to be intentional about it and remember, stop yourself and be like, okay, that's a new idea. It needs to go on the someday list because it's not something I'm going to be working on right now. And that's how you kind of get in that habit. It took us a little while, right, Andrea? Like we would come up with ideas and then, run over to the list and try to remind each other that, oh yeah, it's actually over in the someday list. And it was really interesting because we would forget about ideas and then we would go over the list and be like, oh, it's right here and then in the notes section, we would actually like lay out a lot of the details. So that
It's crazy because it's funny because like we would literally have just talked about it, right? And they were like, no, what if we did this? We're like, didn't we talk about this yet? So it was very, I mean, we're a creative genius, y'all. If you're here following us, it's because you are in this world with us and you love creating. Our brains just love creating stuff. Like, we can help it, right? And then with the creating, you have the marketing, and you have this and you have that. What are you going to put as an offer? What are you going to do this? So as business owners, our brains are in constant, like, it's all those different, engines and wheels turning all over the place, and it's really easy to get distracted. And like Mel said, we fought this list so much because we're like, why would we add on yet another spreadsheet, right? We already have 1,000 of them, don't tell anybody, but but why would you add another one when we already have our to-do list? But if you have, if this is your first time hearing this, or if this is a new concept to you, or if this is something that you've heard before, but you're like, nah, I don't need another spreadsheet, y'all, let me tell you, it is one of those game changing things, like the second brain that we took our link hub. We took the spreadsheet. It's a simple spreadsheet, but it made a whole lot of difference in our business, right? It was like day and night. Like, you can clearly tell the difference when we started using it. And it's the same with this list. And what worked for my brain, impressive, like on the to-do list, our normal to-do list, we would have like the frequency, or like a due date or something. And even if something was due, like, 3 months from now, that pressure is there. You're seeing that thing. It's right there on your face, right? You're like, my gosh, yes, that offer. And then it distracts you, because then you get your brain thinking again and you get excited again. Focus is broken, because instead of doing the thing that you have to do today, you are remembering the thing that you have to do 3 months from now. So now we start all of our creative genius ideas in this Sunday list, and we revisit when it's time for us, when we have a free time, or when it's time, like, what did we talk about again? Is it time to do this? Like our Black Friday deals and stuff, we brainstormed it months before this, right? When we implemented that list. And then as Black Friday was getting closer, Mel and I were like, what was our deal? What were our deals again? What were we gonna do again? Should we do this? Should we do that? No, let's go back to the original genius idea that we had before. We already brainstormed this for hours. And now it sits on the Sunday list. So we just revisit that and then we use it, and that's it. So it really is a really game-changing template that it sounds so ridiculous. Like, why would I add another one? But trust me on this one. Trust us. It's a genius concept.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm going to share it here somewhere. There we go. Okay, so I thought I'd share this is the template that we have and we've shared with our members. With VIPs, this is coming for, I don't think I've put it in CEO. The reason being is I want it to go in the CEO module. So it is coming for you guys as well as I put that module together. But this is what our template looks like. You can definitely go and create this at home. You do not need all the graphs and stuff. Graphs are pretty and fun to look at, but like really, we actually didn't have the graphs until we made a template to share with you guys. We really just like functioned off of these headings. So you have your item, which is just kind of your topic name. We like to categorize ours. You don't have to, but we wanted to kind of know, is it marketing, is it operations, that kind of thing. Your priority level, these are just simple drop downs that we did, and then you can change the colors to whatever you want. So high, medium, and low. This column is a now or later. So like, do we need to do this soon, someday, or maybe it's kind of like we're still questioning whether or not this should be even on the list and it might get deleted. And then the status. So whether it's still to be done, it's in progress, or done. And the nice thing about this template is when you mark something done, hopefully this works live, we have an add script. So when you check here, it's gonna see that. So that done has disappeared and it's been archived onto this tab here for you guys, which is kind of a cool feature to remove those, because over time you want these graphs to reflect more of your current situation. As you get more and more done, this graph is just going to be like, right to the end done, and it's going to, compress these other two categories. So it doesn't make sense to keep storing those there. You can keep them there for a little bit because it probably makes you feel good that you got some stuff done, and that's fine. But then eventually you can transfer them over.
You're distracted. That's the whole point of hiding them. Like, you still have your done in your archived tab, so you can still get a satisfaction, and you can go back and revisit something, if you want to remember something from your notes or something. But then the whole point is to get them out of your way to avoid, again, that whole distraction that those someday things were distracting us and breaking our focus from our current to-do list, right? So you want to make sure that we don't have much time and you have way too many ideas that we want to do. So you want to make sure that you're laser focused in there, and that should just help you. But you still have, if you want to get the dopamine or whatever hormone that you get from completing stuff, you go to the archive tab and it will be there.
Yeah. And then these tabs, again, these aren't necessary either, but they're just nice to have. So these just automatically filter the to-do and the in progress if you just want to have a screen where you're looking at those items. Even the done, like archive, it's not even needed. You can, like if you're building something at home, you can just highlight that row and then right click and then delete that row once it's done. Or you can cut it and then put it onto its own tab if you want to keep all of those done items together. But a really, really simple list. It's funny, we were talking this morning about, we're going to go live on this someday list, and there's not really much to cover. Like, it's such a simple concept, but has made a huge change. So what you would put on those, like for us, has been things like, we have ideas for upcoming promotions. We want to, do better with like affiliate packages. So the people that sell spreadsheetables to other people, we want to like come up with more support materials and supportive emails and those kind of things. What else do we have? Like things that we want to like revamp in the membership. We want to revamp roadmap. All of those big future ideas. Oh, we have like ideas for our tier 1. I don't want to talk about it right now, but like big dreams for next year. All of those are on our someday list. So yours might look similar, where you want to, launch courses. You have maybe a big digital product that you want to get launched and done. The Christmas upcoming like holiday promotions, that kind of thing. And it's funny, we also talked about, like right now we have our Black Friday in our someday list, but actually that would go, we're thinking we're going to have some sort of launch planner. We have a little bit of variations with like launch planners, but we're playing with some spreadsheet ideas for that. So I think in the future, I see something like Black Friday going on like a launch planner, but the someday list is really good for like just dropping something quick in there. And then once you're ready and you're saying, okay, I'm going to do this Black Friday promotion, that's when you would maybe pull out like a launch planner or like a marketing promotion plan or like that kind of thing. So, but it's a great place to just drop things in the meantime, right?
Yeah, it just takes the pressure off of you. It's something that you really want to get it done. It's this great idea that you had, or this, something that you really want to do. You just don't have the time for it right now, and it really does take the pressure off. I don't know. You guys have to try it. Again, we were very, very skeptical about it. We were very resistant, and especially to bring it to you guys. We are very at Spreadsheetables, like we want to test the tools first, and then we want to bring it to you. So like we only bring the things that actually do work and the stuff that we do use in our business. So for us to bring this to you is just something that we really thought it was important, and it was not important, but like it makes a difference, right? It's something that makes a difference, so we can work smarter, really, and not harder. That's the whole point of it. So you can still have your ideas, you can still, brainstorm your stuff in there, and you can enter the notes, or you can enter whatever information you have in a doc somewhere else and just link it in there. Maybe you started working on it, especially us. I mean, we started in 1,000 documents, like Google Docs, and 1,000 spreadsheets, and then we lose them all because we're like, what we were talking about. We have to type it somewhere. Like when Mel and I, we have our brainstorming sessions. It happens out of nowhere, y'all. Nowhere. It's like, Mel, we have an idea. Right now, can we just talk real quick? We just like brain dump. We use WhatsApp. We just brain dump on WhatsApp and like, this is great. Should we get in a call? Sure. And then we get in a call. We open a Google Docs and we type all of our ideas. and then it even happened the other day. I was like, we were talking about something that we wanted to do, and then I typed it in a spreadsheet and then I lost it. Like this morning, she was like, remember that thing that we did? I was like, did we? But did we? It was great. Like, it was a great brainstorming session. I was like, remember that? I was like, hold on. Thank God. Thankfully, I put like a very specific word in the title, so I was able to find it. But yeah, so just make sure now it's linked in there. So just when there's something list, just make sure that you're linking stuff in there. Just enter the information there. But it will be great.
Yeah, awesome. That's so great. What else? It is something useful to you guys. It will definitely be useful to us. That's awesome.
That's why we do here. Like, we test everything because we're the same
Demographic. Same
yeah. Yeah,
businesses.
we're business owners, we're digital most of the part. We're course creators, we're coaches, we're membership owners, we're access sellers. We're like, it's all tangled into one. So anything that we do test and use that works for us, definitely we will be bringing to you guys. And this is why we created the CEO, because the CEO is very focused on the things that work, for us as a business. And then the VIP got like a whole lot more in there, but others like the someday list, that's something that it's not in the CEO yet, but it is for our VIP. So we're always trying to improve our stuff too. So we started with one type of someday list, and then we improved it. We added the charts and everything to make it nice and visually pleasant. So yeah.
Awesome. Speaking of Black Friday, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but you're going to want to watch for your emails because we have some crazy stuff coming up. As you guys know, VIP has been closed and we get so many people asking when it's opening. So you're going to want to watch your emails for the Black Friday, the opening of VIP, and then some deals that are happening. So stay tuned for that.
So excited. That's going to be awesome, guys. We do not want to miss this. Nope. There's one more question in here. Is there any way to have a simple breakdown for each one of those Sunday tasks? You can enter that in the notes. That's what we do. We enter all of our stuff. We can show you ours because it's a lot of private information. We use the note section, just like when you do the command, if you have a Mac, like Control Enter, it enters like a line break. We enter everything in there, and then we made the row size like static, like it doesn't move, because we enter a lot of notes in that note section with line break. So if we let it adjust automatically, it will be like huge, the gap, and then it will be hard to read. So everything is like same size, but then if you want to read your notes or your step by step or whatever it is, just double click on the notes and then it's in there. Or you could there's many ways of doing it. You could create a doc, right? A Google Doc, and then enter the Google Doc on the notes. You could create even a new tab on that spreadsheet if you really want to break those tasks down. But again, that the whole point is to keep it focused and simple enough where you're going to be using it. If you complicate too much, at least my brain and Mel's brain, I know our brain does not like complicated. So if you complicate it too much, we're definitely not going to use it. But yeah, again, this is one of those things that you do what works for your brain, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely do that.
And I feel like I would keep it clear between like the someday list and like a planner or a tracker. that's more detailed. So for example, say Andrea and I had an idea to have like a podcast series with specific people, and we're like, oh, this is a cool idea, and we'll do it leading up to our holiday promotions. And so we come up with that idea. We're going to drop it in the someday list really quickly, that here's our idea, add to the notes, let's run 3 podcast series with x people. But then I wouldn't go ahead and plan out, like you can, but I wouldn't go ahead and plan out all 3 podcasts in that
Oh
someday
yeah,
list. You're
yeah,
just dumping it in there so that you don't forget. Here's some of the
yeah.
details we talked about. And then I would go over to, like, the VIPs have a podcast planner specifically that's very detailed. Then I would go over to the podcast planner and then map out everything there. And that's why I mentioned Andrea and I are working on like a launch planner, because like the Black Friday thing that we put in our own someday list was kind of like that brain dump of like, okay, we're going to do a Black Friday promotion. Here's what we talked about really quickly. But in theory, I would do it in like when I go to actually plan it and map out emails and the social media content. And when we're doing all of those things, I would put that in a separate planner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of say when I have ideas and I want to break it down, but not get lost in that idea plus details, but really want to capture the breakdown essence. Yeah, so that's that's what we do. That's that thing that I said I lost it this morning. That was kind of like that. We brainstormed something on a call, and then I entered in a spreadsheet, right? And then it wasn't on the someday list because it was like more information than it would fit in there. But then this morning I went in because I lost the document. I went in and I linked it again into the someday list, so now I have all that information in there. I just typed it out somewhere else, and then I linked it to the someday list. So that's why you don't want too much information in there, but at the same time you want to be able to when you have those ideas and you have to spell it out and you have to do put that more information out, then yeah, you can just link something to that. Christina said it's really good, Sky. I often get lost in the detail weeds and end up accomplishing up. Yes, that's why this is a great thing to have, and then keep it simple too. Like on your someday list, when you enter the task, like for example, while ours is like revamp tier 1, right? That's very broad and basic, but we know what that means, right? And then inside of that, the notes, we have a little more information, and if needed, we could link to a doc in there also, leading to somewhere else that we're planning that. We didn't get to the part yet, but it would be in there if we had something. So, and you can always add more columns to the side if you need to, link more stuff. I don't know. But again, the whole point of this is like to keep it really simple, just like a brain dump of things, so you can come back and remember what you brainstormed before.
Yeah, it's very like a no pressure type thing. And
Yeah.
actually, it's funny Andrea mentioned the date, because there's no date kind of pegging you to it. And Andrea said she liked that. I had actually debated adding a date in there. But again, we kind of like the no pressure of
Yeah.
it. So if you guys want a date,
Pressure at all.
cool.
It's someday, soon, or maybe, right?
Yeah.
So we know that the soon we have to act fast. Like our Black Friday stuff was everything was soon because we have to, start our marketing. So we knew that we had to work on that. And then the Sunday is those things like revamp tier 1, right? It's not urgent. We know it needs to be done. It's just not right now, right? So there's
Yeah, and
and
it's
like
more
there's
like,
no date, there's no because if there's date, you're gonna be like, at least my brain be like panicking, and then you go into freeze mode, and then you don't do anything, you procrastinate forever. So with the someday list, there's no procrastination really, because there's no dates, there's no pressure, there's no nothing, but your genius idea is in there. So
yeah. And I tend to not I tend, like the example of the tier 1, we had talked about launching in 2025. So I say no dates, but in the notes I'm like, okay, this is kind of the plan for 2025 is to do this.
yeah.
If you feel like you need more like a date tied to things, but it's not even a date, it's a year. So
Yeah. We know we want to be done in the near future, if that makes sense. We know in our brains, but it's not there screaming at our faces that it needs to be done by, January or February.
yeah. All right.
Being able to get stuff out of my head in a constructive way was the reason why I downloaded this template for my own use last night. Yeah. definitely. And here's the thing. Weirdly enough, when you're like super excited, right? That thing is like great. You have many ideas for your shop, for your course, for your membership, for your marketing. And then that thing is just like floating around in your head. When you get that out of your brain and into the someday list, it clears. It's like, angel singing, and it's gone. And then it opens space for more, which could be also a bad thing because then we keep brainstorming new stuff. But want to make sure that you want to get things done. And if it's a maybe, just go back and revisit the maybes, and then if it's just taking space in there and you're like, I'm not going to be able to do this until I don't know, 5 years from now, just get it out of there. Like, there's no need, right? Don't plan things where you're going to be like 10-year plan. Use that for another type of planner. You want to make sure that you keep that very focused on on what you want to get done too. Because if not, you're gonna be stuck in the planning, brainstorming. It's fun. We love brainstorming. I mean, if we had all the time to do everything that we brainstorm, we would take over the world.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get stuck on also the brainstorm phase. So
Yeah.
just make sure that you keep that in mind.
Before you head on to that one, I gotta head out. Sorry, the school's calling me a couple times, so I better call. But see you guys. I'll leave you with Andrea and
bye guys. Oh, bye guys. Bye. I'll talk to you later.
See you.
All right, bye. All right, guys. So let me see this one. I say to myself, I sure wish there was a better way to list and track everything I want to do. And then I remember you added the someday spreadsheet. Yes. And this is what we want to do. This is what we list. We list everything. We love brainstorming. And then, sorry, I got distracted. We love brainstorming stuff, and then we want to make sure that we always save those ideas. And then some of our ideas we revisit and we go back and we're like, this is not, we really don't want to do this. So then we remove from our someday list, and that's okay. Like, you want to make sure that you are taking action on the someday list also. So it's not just something that it's just floating in there. It's never going to be done either. I needed this so bad. Just download it. Thank you. You're welcome. A 10-year plan. I feel so attacked. I know. We plan. Trust me. I wish we could clone ourselves. And just act on everything that we want to do. You guys are all creatives also. But the thing is, like, we get so hung up on that. And then here's one thing that I want to share with you guys too. And this is something that I've learned to let go a bit. When you have all this crazy idea, you have all this planning, and you want to do this and you want to do that, and then you get stuck on the planning phase, and I know you guys, Christina, Sky, you guys are very much perfectionist. Everything that you guys do is like great. So I know you guys get very hung up on the planning process and make sure that everything that you put out there is like perfection, right? Otherwise, it's like not worth seeing the light of the day. But we've learned, you guys know, in the VIP, we have been revisiting sheets that we created like when we first started. And we go back and we're like, this looks terrible. Everything that we go back now, and I was talking to Mel the other day, everything that we go back now that we have to add the walkthrough for our spreadsheets, I'm like, Mel, this is why you can never get anything done, because every time you go back to revisit something that we've done like last year, we want to change it, and I want to like redo all the you guys saw that somebody asked for a walkthrough of the, what was that? I think it was Debbie. She asked for a walkthrough of the social media template that was done last year. And then I was like, okay, if I'm going to do a walkthrough, I'm going to rebrand this whole thing because I hate the look of it. We've changed our branding, not changed, but like we changed the looks of our spreadsheets. And that one was just not up to par. And if you go back to the ones like, the first ones that we did on the vault, it's all like the darker shades and stuff like that. I'm like, this is why we can get past this, because we go back every time we go back for a walkthrough, we're changing all the templates again. And we even want to do that more like live, go live in VIP, like I did with the social media one. So you guys can see us like changing and revamping the spreadsheet and like kind of like a rebranding it, right? Because it's okay to release something and then come back and, you know, just redo or rebrand or revisit or, you know, add more features, remove some features. Like some spreadsheets that I went back, I'm just like, this is so not necessary, you know, because before I wanted to put a lot of features in there, you know, to make sure it was like ultimate and this and that. And I'm just like, no, like, why complicate? It just, the spreadsheet just needs to get the job done, right? If it gets the job done, that's all we need. So that's how we want to make sure that we plan and use the Sunday list. Plan it, then go back, act on it, and then just take it off, remove your list. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. This is all, I mean, we thought we had nothing to talk about it, but we got really excited about this template. We love using it. So if you are a VIP, you can go to the vault and download in there. If you are not a VIP, if you're a CEO, we might be adding that maybe next month or so. But until then, you can just create your own. It's really simple. Just keep it simple. Don't complicate it. Just make sure that you are opening that space in your brain, so you can get creating and working on other stuff. So you're focused. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you.